The biker leader noticed the blood on her face. What he did next shocked everyone in the diner. The bell over the door gave a lazy jingle as the iron serpents rolled in. 6 of them, leather vests gleaming with dust and sunlight, boots heavy on the black and white tiles. The diner had gone quiet the moment they pulled up, 6 Harley engines rumbling like a distant storm. Inside, the air smelled of burnt coffee, bacon, and fear. Behind the counter stood Emma, a 24-year-old waitress who'd been working double shifts for weeks. She wore her usual gentle smile, the kind that made strangers feel like regulars. But that morning, her hands trembled. When she lifted the coffee pot, a streak of red, dry, dark, unmistakable, ran from her cheek down to her chin. The bikers filed into a booth, except for their leader. Cole, Ryder, Mathis, 6 feet of muscle, tattoos, and quiet authority, stayed standing. His presence filled the room. The man had a reputation that rode before him: bar fights, debt collection, loyalty, and a heart that few had ever seen. He ordered a coffee, black. When Emma turned to pour, the sleeve of her cardigan slipped, revealing faint bruises around her wrist. She pulled it back quickly, hoping no one had noticed, but Cole did. He saw everything. At first, no one spoke. The clatter of plates and the hum of the neon sign filled the silence. Cole's crew exchanged smirks, used to the tension their presence brought. But their leader wasn't looking at them. He was watching Emma. "You okay, sweetheart?" he asked, voice low and gravelly. Her hand froze mid-pour. I'm fine," she said softly. The words came out too fast, too rehearsed. Cole's jaw tightened. "That right?" She nodded without meeting his eyes. That's when the door swung open again. A man in a dirty flannel shirt stumbled in, thin, red-faced, smelling of whiskey. He had the kind of arrogance that comes from fear, not strength. His eyes locked on Emma. "Hey," he barked. "You walk out on me again, and all." Cole stood. He didn't move fast or loud, just stood, but it was enough. The man in flannel froze when he saw who was blocking his path. "Sit down," Cole said. It wasn't a threat, it was a command. The drunk's voice wavered. "This ain't your business, biker." Cole's crew rose from the booth like a tide. The diner fell into dead silence again. Emma took a step back, fear flashing in her eyes. But Cole didn't look angry. His expression had softened. Something rare, something almost protective. "Emma," he said gently. "You want him here?" Her lip trembled. She shook her head no. That was all Cole needed. He turned back to the man. "Then you're done." The drunk tried to speak, but one of Cole's men, a mountain named Tex, was already escorting him out. The door slammed shut, and the sound of retreating footsteps faded down the road. No one in the diner moved. Even the old couple in the booth by the window just stared. Cole turned back to Emma, his voice quieter now. "You got somewhere safe to go?" She hesitated. I live in the trailer park off Route 9, but he always finds me." Cole nodded once. "Not tonight, he won't." He reached into his vest, pulled out a folded stack of bills, and set it on the counter. "Pack your things. There's a shelter in Clearwater, run by a friend of mine. Good people. I'll make a call." Emma stared at the money, then at him. "Why would you do that for me?" Cole looked around the diner, at the stunned faces, at his crew, at the coffee pot still trembling in her hand. "Because once," he said slowly, "someone did it for my sister, and I wasn't there to thank them." Her eyes filled with tears she tried to hide. "Thank you," she whispered. Cole gave a small nod and turned to his men. "Let's go." As the iron serpents left, their boots echoing against the tile, the other patrons finally breathed again. The old man in the booth murmured, "Well, I'll be damned. Guess even angels wear leather." Outside, the roar of engines filled the morning air, fading down the highway. Inside, Emma stood alone behind the counter, staring out the window where they'd gone. The red stain on her cheek caught the light. No longer something shameful, but a mark of everything she'd survived. Later that night, as she packed her bag and tucked the cash into her apron, she looked out at the stars and smiled for the first time in weeks. Somewhere out there, a man everyone feared had just saved her life. Not with fists, but with something far stronger. Kindness. And from that day forward, every time a biker's rumble rolled past the diner, Emma didn't feel afraid. She felt safe. Because sometimes, the people the world warns you about are the very ones sent to protect you.